để tìm, để gặp, để hiểu, để yêu và để phục thờ Thiên Chúa.
Khi chúng ta cầu nguyện không phải là để Chúa làm theo ý mình, mà để mình hiểu được và làm theo ý Chúa. The biggest celebrity of the time. Every step that he took, paparazzi take pictures. People traveling hundreds of miles just to come and hear his message. They want to see who he is. Who is this guy that everybody traveling from the north, from the south, from the east and the west? People was following him like a mob. His disciple was numerous. He was the man. But then he saw another man walking by, and he introduced, "Behold, the Lamb of God." And two of his faithful disciples, Andrew and another unnamed, many scholars call him John the Evangelist, the one who wrote the gospel. And if you know, every time in his gospel, whenever he said "and another disciple," he preferring it to himself. So John the Evangelist and Andrew heard, "Behold the Lamb of God," and they turned to John the Baptist. They say, "Adios, John. Bye-bye. Thank you, but I'm done. I'm following this dude." John the Baptist was famous, but then he's a little weird. He's not like the normal celebrity. What does he eat? Locusts. What did he drink? Honey. Where did he stay? Desert. Dude, that ain't the kind of celebrity that probably these guys want to follow. I'd like to hang around with you, but not stay in that condition. So they followed the man who was just introduced. "Behold the Lamb of God." They followed Jesus. Jesus looked around and saw us. Two men followed. Remember, this time Jesus was nobody. He was nobody. Nobody knows him except John the Baptist. He didn't even have any follower. Now he saw two following him. He turned around. What did he ask? Come on, you heard what I proclaimed? What are you looking for? Isn't that the same question he probably asks you and me every Sunday? What you looking for when you go to church? What favor do you need? Many times we come to God because we're looking for something. That's probably the same question. Jesus looked at him and said, "What you looking for?" Now listen to their answer. What did they answer Jesus? "Rabbi?" What? "Where are you staying?" Hey, Jesus was asking what you're looking for. And what they didn't answer Jesus. They said, "Where are you staying?" You know why? They get sick and tired of staying in the desert. So probably they didn't want the one looking forward for. They was hoping that Jesus could like, I'm stay at the Hilton front. Yeah. Come and join me. You know? They was like, "Where you stay, dude? Is that a better place than the desert?" Where do you stay? Where do we stay sometimes tell us the status of who we are, isn't it? It's still back then, it's still nowadays. Are you living in a gated community? You know? What, your neighborhood? You know what I'm talking about? Where you stay? What hotel you stay? You stay at the Hilton, or you stay at the Four Point by Sheraton, or you stay in what else? What are all those famous things? What's that? Westin, yeah. Or you stay at the Motel 6, you know? Oh, you know, where you stay? I mean, they was really down to earth, just like you and me. Where you stay? Jesus said, "Come and see." Now, I don't know where the heck Jesus stayed, but they came. And the gospel said they stayed with Jesus for a day. They built that relationship with God. Whatever in their talkings, I have no idea. John did record. But man, the three men staying for the day together, maybe they did some social drinking, I don't know, or social smoking, or whatever that is, but they talk. Man just cannot be with one another for a day without having some connection. Be really honest. Especially strange men. I mean, how can they hang together for a day? They can't. Unless they develop some kind of connection. And I think that's probably one of the things we need. See, John the Baptist is now become the bad word. He didn't care. His job was to show people to Jesus. Now come to the next dude, Andrew. The first being called, isn't that? He's the one. Jesus called me first. But he just didn't keep that good news for himself. After he met Jesus, he went and saw his brother, Simon. Later we call Peter. Hey, you, we found the Messiah. Y'all want to come see him? And guess what? That's a stupid introduction. Because ever since that time on, Andrew no longer being mentioned by name. Every time they talk about him, they call him Peter's brother. How'd you like that, huh? You were like, dude, I'm the one. I'm the first one being called, dude. You know him because of me. And now Peter's name is being mentioned over and over and over and over in the gospel. The foundation of the church, the first pope whatsoever. And Andrew, now every time they talks about him, they don't even call his name. They call him Peter's brother. You are become a no name. Did Andrew care? No. But what do we learn from John the Baptist and Andrew today? We learn to develop that personal relationship with God, of showing and living out the good news of Jesus Christ. We need to be the hands and the finger that point to God and not to ourselves. But we can talk about who he is and point to him. How did John know us be the Lamb of God? Until we know who he is. And I think that's a problem in the Catholic Church in the last probably 30 years. We have to, in my simple English, I call we suck at it. You know what we suck at? We don't develop that personal relationship with God anymore. We talk about what God do and not who he is. You know what I'm talking about? We tell the whole world of what Jesus does. Dude, Jesus is not somebody up there and just the guy who come and give you favors when you need. He's the Lord, the Creator, the Savior, the one, what is that Andrew introduced? The Messiah. We talk about what he does more than who he is. You know why? I really think because in order to talk about who he is, we need to know him. And in order to know a person and who he is, you got to develop a relationship with that person. But talking about somebody, what he or she does, we really don't need to know that person. We just need to hear what people talk about him. Am I right? For example, you probably heard about my name, Father Martino. You hear what I do, so this and that. But you don't need to know who I am because somebody told you. But in order to know who I am, you need to come to this church, you need to see me, you need to hear me, you got to develop. And that's where we Catholics, I think we short of that. Our Protestant brothers and sisters are better about that part. So we need to develop that relationship with God. We need to know who he is before we can introduce him. We can't introduce somebody until, oh yeah, that's Father Martino, he's my pastor, and that's all I know is about him. You know? No. We gotta do better than that. He's the Messiah, the one who is to come. We need to introduce him. You know, we begin today the ordinary time. You know, I wear green now, okay? Ordinary time. What the heck is that ordinary in a Catholic Church? It means we can go back to ordinary. We don't have to be extraordinary good anymore. Is that what it is? No. You know what? We, the last 3 weeks, we jumped 30 years in Jesus' life. We jumped from Jesus' birth, Christmas, Epiphany, Baptism into Jesus' ministry. Ordinary life means to live out, to celebrate, and to live what you and I celebrate the last few weeks. That's what ordinary time is about. To live out what we celebrate the last few weeks of His birth, of His epiphany, of His baptism. I want to end this homily with a little note for you. You know, I just came back from a few days break in Sion. And heck, I learned some stupid mistake that I didn't know that. You gotta tell me. When I booked the hotel, I found it pretty cheap. And I came, they asked me for $13 more a day. I said, why? They said, because you booked a female's room. Yeah, I asked the same question. What? I never know that there's a male's and a female's room and the price are different in the hotel. So I said, okay, I guess that's new to me. I stay in a hotel a lot, but never heard of that male and female's room. And I said, I'm not staying with another male or female, am I right? You know, because when you travel, sometimes in Italy and Europe, you know, you have like 8 beds in the dormitory, kind of things. And I say, no, I book a private room. Not in a dormitory. Oh, yeah. So I didn't have a choice, so I paid $13 more. When I got to my room, I know what the difference. You know what difference? It's a smoking room, dude. A male room is a smoking room. So I called out, I said, now I don't know if this is male or female room, but I need the new room before I die in this room because I don't smoke. But before I die, I will call the police to make sure they know to find my body in this room right now. So they moved me to a female's room, a non-smoking room. I took my $13 back. Isn't that cool? Because they said they have to clean up the room after the male smoking. That's the $13 for. I don't know that, isn't it? But anyway. But you know, before that story, I called customer service and this and that. And I got to the voicemail, you have to wait. And that's where my point I want to lead you to. Nowadays, I don't know if you use the iPhone, but I use the iPhone the last like 2 years. The iPhone, when you go to the voicemail, you actually don't have to listen. They translate the voicemail. You know what I'm talking about? Or, I don't know what that is. What they call beta transcript or whatever that is. But literally, you don't have to. But before that time, you know that. Your phone, you set up, this is my wife, so when she's called, the ring is a little different, so you know that's your wife calling. You know what I'm talking about? Your husband calling, the ring is different. Your kids calling, everything. And then you look at that, and then you decided, should I pick up the phone or I send it to the voicemail? You know what I'm talking about? We all did that. Come on, don't lie. I do that to my mom all the time. What you laughing at? I know you do that too. Oh, my wife called it. Decline. We get to the voicemail. You know, we do that all the time. Advertising. We used to be able to identify them with the 1-800 number now, right? Now they're pretty damn smart, right? They know your area code. They put a phone number with the same area code and actually some kind of same first 3 numbers. You know, that sucks. I have to put up the phone because I don't know if you guys calling me or advertise. But they want to play game, I play game back. They call me, I answer in Vietnamese, and you know how that works, right? Good luck, dude. Try to understand me. Yeah. You want to play? I play back. And they, whatever the language I say, they say I just speak in Vietnamese. You know what they do? They remove my name off the list because they know they can't get up the now of me. Learn that, okay? When you move to somewhere, what else do they do? They send you a ton of junk mail the first 3 months you're there, right? You want to, and in that junk mail, what do they send? They give you an envelope where you can send back, right? And who pay for the postage? They pay, right? You want to send me junk? Polo, you send me junk? Great, I have no problem. You want to send me junk? No problem. I take your junk, I put in your return envelope and send back to you. I take your junk, I put in her junk envelope and I send back to her. You know what? After 2 months, there's no more junk mail. Because they know we're playing with them. You want to pay for the postage? Yeah, I will help you to do so. You want to send me junk, now you feel how that junk go back to you. That came from the stock market, my background. That's not the priesthood that I should be, but not the businessman that I was, okay? That's what it is. Send the voicemail. All these advertising. We send them to the direct message. That's my message I want to leave to you. God calls you and I all the time. And many times when we see that number from Him, we didn't want to pick up, so we sent him to the voicemail. We didn't turn him down. We just tell him, just leave me a message. I get back to you when I have time. And you know, he won't stop calling. Whether what language you speak, because he speaks all the languages. So you can't play with him with the Vietnamese, the Tagalog, the Filipinos, or any language, because you know he speaks them all. And he keep calling like the first reading, he called Samuel. He keeps calling until you say, yes, Lord, speak. I'm listening. So as you go home, you listen to God this way. I want you to don't say anything. Whenever you see that number, you say, yes, Lord, I'm listening. You don't have to say anything. Because many times he doesn't call and ask him for favor, because you know he didn't need you and me to do anything for him. He just want to call to check on you and me. How you doing? You all right? He just want to call to say, tell you that he loves you. He just want to call and say, I know you're going through a tough time, but I'm there with you. Allow me to come and be part of your family. He just want to call and say, I'm here. Don't send him to the voicemail. Tell him to talk and listen. And your life will be transformed like Samuel, like Andrew, like Peter, like the older Apostle John, like John the Baptist. No matter what we do, our life will be different until the day that we see him in heaven. May everything we do give the glory to his name. Amen.
Để tìm, để gặp, để hiểu, để yêu và để phục thờ Thiên Chúa.
Khi chúng ta cầu nguyện không phải là để Chúa làm theo ý mình, mà để mình hiểu được và làm theo ý Chúa.